What's going on, everybody? My name is Hydros, and welcome back to some more My Hero Academia Ultra Impact. And today we're going to be talking about if you guys should summon on the brand new Endeavor banner, who also does feature a new HAWKS, as well as a couple new memories as well. So before we go ahead and get into that, make sure you guys go down there, click that red subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on notifications by smacking that bell, that'll miss on any future videos, and let's go ahead and take a look at the banner. So the brand new Endeavor banner, he is a new UR character, and his animation looking beautiful. Look at that plus ultra animation right there. The prominence burn, man, that animation looks really good. But either way, this Endeavor is a red type unit, and then there we have the new SR yellow HAWKS, and also we have a couple new memories as well, as you can kind of see at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and just take a look really quickly. There's the Endeavor, we have HAWKS, and then we have the new memory, the wannabe friends memory, which this is from the training camp where, you know, Bakugo is taken. It's that specific scene where Ochako, Su, and Toga were fighting there. And then we have this, our Mirako memory. I really want this one. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm very much hoping I can pull this memory at some point. But the Mirako Dabi memory, which is what a hard kick solves any problem. That is going to be a cool one as well. So again, when we're reading all these stats, just be aware of that this stuff does show up as at maximum potential. This is like after his ability board and his also limit breaking and stuff. So this is his maximum potential stats that we're going to be looking at, as well as his abilities percentage wise and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. It will be slightly lower when you do summon him, but as you're increasing him, those percentages do increase, and this is what his maximum is going to be. So Endeavor, he has 25,000 HP, which I guess pretty average, right? That's not like amazingly well or amazing good. You know, it's like roughly around average about what most UR characters are going to have. Around 6,600 power or attack, and that's all right. That's pretty good, actually. He's going to be dealing out quite a bit of damage, I feel. And then also he's going to have 10 crit rate, which is again standard amongst most characters, between 10 to 15, and then 428 speed. So he's going to be kind of average on speed, but he does have some things to help him make him faster, or at least make the enemy slower. So that's going to be something to consider as well. And then also we have the HAWKS here, who has roughly 21,000, so that's not too bad at all. 5,500 power, 347 speed, and 15 critical rate. Again, same thing. This is at his maximum potential here for his stats and his abilities. Then we have this one right here, which again, going to give you that buffs to your HP, power, and speed, and the same thing, buffs to HP, power, and speed. So we're going to go over all of these things here in today's video, but let's go ahead and take a look at the banner. Obviously, the rates pretty standard across the banners. We've seen these rates before: 2% for UR, 2% for UR memory and character. And then Endeavor is the only rate up character on the banner. He is at 0.7%, so you're gonna have a better chance at pulling him than most of the URs, but there are quite a bit of UR characters on this banner. Also, for the fact of the matter is that UR memories are also rate up, or at least the new UR memory specifically is also rate up. So you're gonna be kind of battling yourself with summoning URs, because you're also summoning a UR memory and UR characters. That's something to consider. But if you are summoning for a UR character, he is going to have the better chance of popping up with that 0.7%. And then the SR HAWKS is going to be at 3%. You're probably going to see HAWKS quite often because he is one of the highest rated characters on this banner for percentages at 3%. And then same with the memory, right? I think the SR memory is also at 3%. No, it's 2% for the SR memory, excuse me. And you're probably going to see this SR memory quite a bit. I haven't seen it because I haven't pulled it yet, but hopefully I will be able to pull it eventually. So yeah, the rates. Now, if I was to say to summon on this banner versus something like that Todoroki banner that we did a while back, a link to that be down in the description down below, by the way. The Todoroki banner, it is not ideal to summon on those kind of banners, right? It is more ideal to summon on this banner type, more so than the character banner that the Todoroki did, because the Todoroki also had the rate up for the old UR Todoroki, not just the new one, and it also didn't feature any new SR characters or memories or anything like that. So the rate ups were more so for the old and then one new character. So obviously the new Todoroki, which I do believe the new Todoroki is also in this banner as well. So you could also have the chance of pulling the new UR Todoroki on this Endeavor banner as well, because he just gets added to the general pool later on. And Endeavor also will be added to the general pool as well after his banner does go away as well. So just keep that in mind. This banner here, this banner type, when they do incorporate new memories and new units specifically, this banner type is the better one to summon on, because, you know, the rate up characters, unless you're looking for those characters specifically for the rate up character banners, This one right here is going to be the better bang for your buck for new characters, because this is the one where all the new characters are going to have the rate up specifically, versus the character banner that has old characters that have rate ups as well, along with the one new one that's going to be coming out, right? So this is probably the more ideal banner to summon on specifically if you're looking for new characters. So either way, let's go ahead and just take a peek at what Endeavor does really quickly as well. We're going to take a look at the wiki. Wiki would be down in the description down below. And again, keep in mind, these are posted at maximum stats, so just remember that. So his prominence burn, 650% damage to a single enemy, high chance to burn for 3 turns, and then gains grit. Now, what does grit do? Grit is the HP will never go below 1. So if you have him versus some hard bosses, he's taking some hits. If you activate his plus ultra attack, the following turn or during that turn, he will never fall below 1 HP or 1 at all. He'll never fall below 1 until I believe the next turn. I believe it only lasts for the turn that you use the prominence burn on. So that's going to help him out a lot, especially if you're trying to survive really quickly or very long, or for long fights and stuff like that. That grit is going to come in handy on living on that 1 HP. So his heat fist, 225% damage to all enemies, and then low chance to burn all enemies for 3 turns, and then also decreases all enemies speed by 10% for 3 turns. So he's going to be decreasing speed for enemies. That's going to help him out, especially with that speed stat. Like I mentioned, he's going to give that 10% down, so he's going to get that extra speed boost when those enemies are decreasing their speeds. And then also it is an AoE, so you're attacking all enemies at once, and then also having the chance to burn all of these enemies, which also the burn chance is very good, especially if you're running this Endeavor with Bakugo, the blue Bakugo. Mainly because Bakugo's plus ultra does work off burn. So if the enemy is burned, Bakugo is going to get that extra power buff to his plus ultra attack if the enemy's burned. So you could work Endeavor onto a team with the Bakugo specifically, and probably you could also work in the Todorokis and stuff like that with this Endeavor onto a Bakugo team as well. So that would be pretty decent. As well as the speed decrease, you could run this guy with Air Force Deku as well, because Air Force Deku has an ability to where if the enemy has a speed debuff, then you're going to get an extra power buff on Air Force Deku's ability, which is going to also be very handy, especially if Air Force Deku. You could run Air Force Deku and Bakugo with this Endeavor because they work very well with him. And then also, if we go down to Endeavor's next ability, 350% damage to a single enemy, low chance to burn for 3 turns, and then deals an additional 40% damage if enemy has a speed debuff. So Endeavor also works well with himself because his first ability is decreasing speed, but then you can also use Endeavor with other characters such as Momo, who decreases speed, Air Force Deku, who decreases speed, and I do believe some other characters as well do decrease speed as well. But Endeavor could be run with a multitude of different speed debuffers to help him get that 40% damage increase for his second ability, and then also he has a low chance to burn, which is also very decent to get that overall, damage over time with a burn, right? So there is that. And then also his first auto skill is increase plus ultra gauge by 30%. So he's going to be immediately getting that 30% plus ultra gauge increase once you start the fight. And that at the start of each wave, meaning after every time you defeat a wave of enemies at the start of it, he's going to increase his attack by 40% for 3 turns. So immediately after a fight starts, so if we start a fight on a quest, and then the first wave, he's going to get that 40% attack increase for 3 turns. And then also if we beat that wave, the next wave that starts, so if it has like either 2 or 3 waves of characters, then he's going to get another 40% attack increase that following wave. So he's going to keep getting that 40% every time you're going into a new wave, which is really good and really interesting. So he's going to get 40%. And then also you use this first skill here. He's going to decrease speed, which is that 225% damage plus that 40%. Then you follow it up with this action skill, Flame Knuckle. You get that 350%. Then also that 40% if the enemy has a speed debuff, plus the 40% for that 3 turns if it's at the start of the wave. You can get that off really quickly. That is going to be a lot of damage. I feel like Endeavor is going to be a very good damage output. Will take him a bit to, get there, because obviously you have to use one skill, then the next one. But, that's going to be only 2 turns. By the time you're hitting 3 turns, you've already gotten both of these action skills off already and got that 40% attack increase for both of them. And so you're pretty good to go. So when HP is 50% or less, increase attack by 30%, deal reversal damage for 3 turns. Now reversal damage, let's see what that is. Reverse is power increases the lower your HP. So that is also going to be nice and interesting. Actually, there we go. Now you can see it. So power increases the lower your HP. So he's going to get also a power increase when he's below 50% or HP, or the lower his HP is, the more damage he's going to do. If you're below 50% HP, you're going to get a 30% buff. Then also, if it's the start of the wave, you're going to get another 40% buff. And then if he has a speed debuff, you're getting another 40% buff. So that is a lot of buffs that he's going to be giving to himself over the course of long fights. Now, again, it's not ideal to really kind of think of these in quest type situations, because quest is pretty easy. Like, story is pretty easy to go through. Now, this is mainly ideal for stuff like USJ and VE Tower, right? And then other harder events as we go along in the game. So Endeavor, I feel like this Endeavor is a very good unit. He's going to be doing a lot of damage very early on. It doesn't take a lot to build him up. And Bakugo is a builder. I feel like this Endeavor might be a little better than Bakugo. The only downside to Endeavor is the teams, because teams, he has, I guess he has quite a different few units to work with of his own typing. But if we're not considering typing, then he does work well with other units. Like I mentioned, Momo for speed debuff, Air Force Deku for speed debuff, and also giving speed debuffs. So he can also kind of coexist with Air Force Deku, kind of trading off their abilities in that way. And then also he can work with Bakugo getting the burn chance, and Bakugo working off that burn ability that he has on his Plus Ultra. So he does work well with other type units, but specifically for his main typing red, I don't know if he has really a very utilized team for red. I think we need a lot more red units to utilize a full mono red team. But I do believe that it doesn't really matter for mono right now. I just think that mono blue is probably the best typing in the game because of the amount of units that work well with each other in that specific typing. But if you consider Endeavor on other teams, like I said, you work with Bakugo, Air Force Deku, Momo, and stuff like that, he's going to work well with all these other units. So, and also pro hero teams. I mean, the green UR Hawks and also Aizawa and stuff like that, he's going to work well probably with a lot of the pro heroes as well. So that's going to be good for him as well. Now, the new Hawks, let's see, he does 450% damage to a single enemy. Damage is based on speed for his Plus Ultra. So he could work well with Endeavor. So if you pair him with Endeavor, then, you know, you're getting that speed debuff on Endeavor. The less the speed, probably the more damage this is going to do. So you could pair him with Endeavor. That could be very good. Rain Cover, his first action skill, cut damage taken by 30% for all allies for 2 turns. Gain evasion for 1 hit. So he gets a free, you know, miss on his hit, right? So he doesn't get hit for 1 turn. And then for 1 hit rather. And then also he's giving his allies 30% damage cut, which is going to take less damage, obviously, kind of inferred there. Then also his second ability, which is inflict 200% damage to all enemies, so it is an AoE, and then increase speed by 50% mistyped for all allies for 3 turns. So he's going to give a speed buff to all allies. So that could also work well with Endeavor. You could pair him up with Endeavor or some other speed units as well to kind of get the jump on the enemies in case you're a little bit slower than some. Definitely going to help out with that. And then at the start of each wave, increase speed by 30%. So Hawks is giving himself a speed buff at the start of each wave, and then deals heavy damage for 3 turns. What is heavy damage? Let's take a look at what that is really quick. Heavy damage, there we go. Power increases the higher your HP. So the more HP you have, the more damage this Hawks is gonna do, which is gonna be really good as well. Then also, this is why he works well with Endeavor. Pro hero allies increase attack by 25%, excluding Hawks. So this does not apply to Hawks. This applies to something like Endeavor. So if you run this Hawks with the Endeavor on your team, Endeavor's gonna get another 25% buff. You can then give damage cut to Endeavor. You can then increase all your speeds. So in giving a speed to increase to Endeavor, that's gonna be very, very good to run with Endeavor. I think this Hawks and Endeavor will work very well together. Giving Endeavor probably, I think he's going to be, Endeavor's at least a top 3 unit now just because of that. I think it'd be Air Force Deku, then Endeavor, then Bakugo. I think Endeavor is slightly better than Bakugo just because Bakugo is a stacker and it does take him a minute to get boosted up a little bit. So I think Endeavor will be dealing a lot more damage. Then we have the new memories, the Wannabe Friends memory, which this one increases speed by 40% if a female character is on the team. Skills deal an additional 30% damage. So you can equip this and get that speed increase if you're equipping it to a female character, which there are, you know, Momo, Ochako, stuff like that are in the game currently. We don't have any pro hero females right now. I mean, I would love to see a Mirako at some point, right? That would be really cool. Then the Mirako memory, a hard kick solves any problem. When HP is 50% or less, increase attack by 30% and increase critical rate by 15%. I think that this This one right here could go very well on Endeavor. You could also put this on Hawks, but I think this memory specifically would be a good one to put on Endeavor, because, you know, if you're getting that below that 50% HP, Endeavor also gets that, you know, increase whenever his HP is lower, right? So that could actually work as well. And then also it will also give him a critical rate increase as well. So that's going to be really good for Endeavor specifically, and that's going to help him deal a lot more damage. So should you summon on the Endeavor banner, I feel like this banner is also a very must summon if you are looking for a very powerful type user, such as Endeavor. And also you could use Hawks as well. Hawks is a very good pro hero unit as well. So if you're wanting to build out your pro hero team, Hawks and Endeavor both work very well together. I think these two units specifically are very much worth summoning on. I think Endeavor is going to be a very, very powerful damage heavy unit, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage to these enemies, especially helping you get through a lot of these tougher fights. So I do think Endeavor will be worth summoning on and is worth summoning on. So I do recommend, if you have the gems, since again this is the only banner currently live, that I would recommend summoning on Endeavor, also because all the units are also there in the general pool. But again, I think Endeavor is very much worth summoning on if you are a new player and you are looking to build out that pro hero team. Again, if you're wanting to save for like your specific, you know, main character that you love in the game, by all means do that. I'm not, you know, telling you have to summon on this banner, but I am saying that this banner is a high recommendation to summon on, because Endeavor is really good, Hawks is really good with Endeavor, the memories are really good as well, and also you can have a chance to get any of the other characters as well on this banner. So that is my recommendation. Should you summon on this banner? Yes, I would say go for it, spend your gems. If not, I would say spend at least maybe 3, 4 multis on the banner at most. That would be, I think, ideal for some of you free to play and, you know, more cost effective players. So maybe 3 to 4 multis ish would be ideal for you guys. And then also, if you're a whale, yes, go for it, summon on this banner, go, get that Endeavor. He's really, really good, and the memories and Hawks are really good. So that is my recommendation. That's my opinion. Again, if you guys have any different comments or concerns, let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.